So this is where my son is buried. Vaughn. We buried him September 9, 2007. I don't remember a whole lot of that day. I mean, I remember, but I don't. I was numb, and I was high, and I was broken because it was all my fault. And I wanted to come out here to spend some time with him because it's been a long time since I've seen him. Because this is my why. I travel around the country speaking. I talk a lot to kids about the pitfalls of addiction. But I take it to a whole nother level because every time I go to a high school or junior high school or college, every single kid I see out there reminds me of my son. And I see his face in every single one of them. And so when I talk to them, I'm talking to my boy. You see, because to me, it's my fault that my son died. Because I was in my addiction. I was using, drinking, taking pills, screwing around, being with different women. I wasn't letting what mattered more matter most. I wasn't doing that. And when I got the call that my son was dead, I wanted to die. And I'm doing this post because I have a message for you moms and dads out there who have children and you're suffering with an addiction. You're letting things matter more than what really matters, which is your child's life and their future. And when I talk to those kids out there who may have grown up and saw the things that I saw, who are struggling, who don't have an identity, who are living on social media, I talk to them like they're Vaughn, and I say, listen, to the boys, I'm sorry. Dad's so sorry that I wasn't in your life and I didn't show you how to be a man. That I thought being famous and rich was enough. I thought that was enough as a father. That I wasn't in your life and I didn't tell you about God. And that I didn't show up sometimes to pick you up because I was thinking about myself. And I thought I loved you. And I tell the young women that I'm sorry Daddy wasn't there for you, to tell you not to give your virginity up to some guy just because he tells you he loves you. I'm sorry I didn't show you how a man is supposed to treat a woman so you'll not run into the traps that happen when men meet women when they're young, and how they get abused and used, and how if they find themselves sleeping around, they're gonna become a whore like I was, and to not to give up their virginity for that. And it's my whole purpose now because God has given me this opportunity. And I know it sounds almost selfish, but I want to thank Vaughn for allowing me to know that he's my reason that I travel around this country speaking on addiction and how it's destroying lives and families. And there has to be a solution. There has to be something that needs to be done. And it's starting in the home. Because these kids are dying. Moms and dads are dying. And everyone's doing this Jesus Inc. thing instead of the real thing. And allowing their reprobate minds to just give them the freedom to think that grace is just going to abound and they're just going to keep on living in the sin, which is eventually going to cause your kid to die. Or yourself. When Vaughn was a little boy, I remember playing football in my front room, and he would be running past me with the ball in his hands, and he'd be laughing because I would pretend like I would tackle him. I'd lift him up, and he'd like throw up milk all in my mouth. And I would as he grew up, I just knew I loved him so much because I just wanted to be around him, but I thought about me more. I would go to his football games. I left his mother. I should have never left anybody I was with. I chose things that fed my flesh more than I chose the things that were most important, which people are doing today. I would go to his football games and his track meets sometimes. And then when he got old enough, he came to my house in the western slope of Colorado, and he told me how much he loved me and how he wanted to be like me when he grew up. And I don't even know why, but he told me that he never judged me. And he ended up probably, I'm sure, trying to reach out to me to borrow my car because he had blown the engine out of his car, and he ended up taking his motorcycle and he came across the mountain because he couldn't reach his dad, I'm sure, and he ended up getting run over by someone. I tried to kill myself by using and drinking myself into a coma. And only again by the grace of God, when I found out what my purpose was to go out and share hope with people and inspire people to change, all because of my son. Daddy's so sorry, man. It's my fault that you're dead. Because I wasn't there for you. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do as a father. You're not here anymore. Don't choose the way that some of their fathers are choosing. And tell them about this God that is so huge. And we're only here for a short time. And God put us here for his purposes, not our own. Part of that purpose is to be a good husband, and to be a good parent, and to raise our kids to know who he is and teach them scripture and show them the way of the world is not the way they should go. And this world's more and more broken. I love you so much, son. And Daddy's so sorry. I'm so sorry. I would rather be there than you. And I'm sorry to everyone else that I heard out there, destroying their lives as well. I'm not the same man anymore. He died.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. And you have been so, so kind.